This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. A chilly afternoon in the Gateway City. Game number 2 of the weekend series. The Colorado Rockies and the St. Louis Cardinals. Jim Hayes is here, and Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin, and welcome to Busch Stadium. Delighted to have you with us. Great game last night for the Cardinals. We'll see what happens here in game number 2. And the Cardinals turn to, it's going to be Carlos Martinez here today, Jimmy.
Well, Carlos Martinez has stepped up his game big time in the last 3 starts. If you look at these stats, I don't even have to talk about him. I mean, incredible turnaround. Look at the earned runs, the ERA. He's throwing more strikes. He's getting his pitches over, and he's been devastating.
He's been really good with the cutter in on the lefties. That's been an exceptional pitch here lately. He went 8 innings his last time out. And you look at the pitches in the zone, the National League this season, Carlos Martinez is in the top 5. So it's Carlos Martinez going this afternoon. Chichi Gonzalez for the Colorado Rockies. And in game 1, not only doing it on the mound, but at the plate, Jack Flaherty. The Cardinals won game 1. Game 2 coming up on Bally Sports. Lineup today, and how about this start in 2021? Cardinal rookies, highest home batting average through 18 games. Joe Medwick, Albert Pujols, Stan the Man, and then Dylan Carlson, 367. And he has been as steady as anybody, both sides of the plate, the switch hitter. This is from the other night, the right side of the plate, Jimmy.
Well, you know what he's doing really well. He's being patient. You can see right there, took 2 really good pitches, took a really good hack right there, back-to-back swings. And then what does he do? He's comfortable enough, takes another pitch out there, and he stays with it, and then finally goes, I'm not going to get a fastball from this guy to hit. I'm just going to stay with it and hit the ball the other way.
Very comfortable at the plate. Been fun to watch in his rookie campaign. It's game number 2. The Rockies, the Cardinals. Gonzalez, Martinez, first pitch next. Rockies and Cardinals. It is game number 2 from a chilly Busch Stadium. 54 degrees. It's not supposed to be this cold on May 8th in the Midwest.
Chilly.
It is chilly. Glad you're with us. Jim Edmonds, Dan McLaughlin, our entire Bally Sports crew. The Cardinals trying to make it 2 wins in a row over the Rockies and win this series. And this season, 6 starts for Carlos Martinez, 2-4, but he's been really good, Jimmy, as of late.
Yeah, he definitely has. We saw in the open how good he has been lately. And you look at the pitch arsenal, the Hyundai pitch arsenal. He's got every weapon that he needs, and lately he has been throwing more strikes, as we saw. He's been more consistent and been very, very good.
The Rocky lineup, Tapia, Story, and McMahon. Then Blackman, Hampson, Joe, Nunez, Fuentes, and Gonzalez. Bud Black and his club, they come in at 12 and 20. And the Cardinals at 19 and 14. It's game number 34 of this young season. Tapia, 7-game hitting streak on the line today. Each of the last 4 games, 1 hit and 4 at bats, but the streak continues.
That's all it takes.
Very good average so far at 310, 4 home runs. He's driven in 19 from the top spot in the lineup. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. As a matter of fact, since the start of the 2020 season, the best average in baseball, DJ LeMahieu, the former Rocky, now with the Yankees, he's at 333. 3-0 pitch, 3-1. Then Trey Turner, Xander Bogaerts, Justin Turner, and then Tapia. So he's swinging the bat really well. 3-1 pitch, inside leadoff walk. Cardinal defense and around the horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Back behind the plate, good to see him. That's Yadier Molina. In the outfield, O'Neill, Bader, and Carlson. Arenado, DeYoung, Edman, and Goldschmidt on the infield. Wonder if Bud Black wants to test Yadier Molina back in action today. Tapia would be a choice. He's got 3 stolen bases so far this year.
I am going to say please go ahead so we can speed up this first inning.
All right. Here's Trevor Story. Cardinals have held him in check in his career. 22 games, 27 strikeouts, and a 193 average. Matter of fact, 11 of the 22 games he struck out twice, so the Cardinals have pitched him tough. He's 9 for his last 21, 2 doubles, couple of home runs, and he'll be a part of that big shortstop free agent class coming up. So you got to wonder if his time is limited with the Rockies and they try to deal him and get the most they can, or if they can't try to re-sign him. Maybe tough. 0-2 the count. One of those names off that list is Francisco Lindor, and he signed for well above $300 million. Highest OPS among shortstops this year. Bogarts in Boston, then Bo Bichette, Dante's son. Rockies fans know all about him. And then Trevor Story. Here's an 0-2 pitch. Just off the plate. Carlos is using his cutter a ton. 25% of the time. 9th most in Major League Baseball. It's been successful for him here in the last 2 to 3 games. That's off the mask of Molina.
Ouch.
And the velocity very good with the cutter, slider, whatever you want to call it. But he's saying he's gone back to a cutter, which was when he was having success, especially in 17 and 18. He was using that pitch a lot.
Well, I mean, I would imagine it'd be very hard to stay on top of 5, 6 different pitches, but I would also think that at the same time you'd want to be able to use them at any time. And you know what? Okay, it's not working today, file it. But to just stop using something at this level, it would seem to be put you at a little bit of a disadvantage. Only just because, like I said, more weapons you have, the better you're going to be.
Used it a ton in his last start against the Pirates. 8 innings, shutout baseball. Start before that gave up an earned run in the first inning against the Phils. Then sailed through that game. It's been very good lately. Off the plate. 3-2 the count.
Well, and what he's doing right here is he's not locked in location wise, and what he has been really good with over his last few starts has been really getting after guys with 2 strikes. He has not allowed a hit in the last 19 at bats when guys have 2 strikes. So that is a big plus to his last 3 games.
Start the runner and a fly ball into right. Dylan Carlson has to come in and makes the catch. Tapia back to the bag at first. Jim Edmonds, Toyota, key to the game.
Well, basically for Carlos, it's just being consistent, and consistency is ride those last 3 starts into this one and keep going. A lot of good positive stuff coming out of him his last couple starts, and we saw the numbers, and just all of a sudden something clicked for him. I think the last start that he had, his energy level was up. I will hope to see that continues today. Right now he looks like he's off to a little bit of a sluggish start, but he can spin that around in a hurry.
Here's McMahon, 1 out, runner at first. Umpires today: Chad Whitson behind the plate, Jim Reynolds, the crew chief, he's at first, Tony Randazzo at second. John Lipka is down at third, and John Lipka was sensational last night behind the plate. There are different websites you can go to that will tell you by going off the strike zone, that kind of thing, and he was as good as we've had this year. He was awesome. So let's give the credit to the umpires when they deserve it.
For sure, and I'll tell you what, he didn't have an easy game.
That is ripped down the right field line, fair into the corner. They started the runner. Tapia now to third. They're going to wave him in. It'll be 1-0 Colorado. '22nd run driven in by McMahon. 1-0 Rockies.
Well, they start the runner here, and you can see just a little sinker, maybe a little cutter, nothing on it. And starting the runner here, this ball gets hung up against this half wall down there, and no chance for doing anything from Dylan Carlson. So there you see, manufactured a run right there. One walk, and usually happens. 1-0.
And a strike to Charlie Blackmon. Slow start, 206 the average. Couple of home runs, 17 driven in. On a cold day like this, you probably feel a little bit warmer with that nice long beard.
I was just thinking, it's been a long time since he's shaved that beard.
I love it when we show the before and after. You wouldn't know who it is.
It's a pretty impressive list right there. He's third all time in the Rockies hit list. And
oh, what a play on a short hop by Tommy Edman. My goodness.
Is there anything that this young man cannot do? I'll tell you what, we get a good shot at this, hopefully a little bit of a distance on this replay. Watch what he has to do right here. He's going to his left, but he realizes I'm in trouble if I don't come get this ball because it's sinking. So he makes the adjustment to come get it. He stays back on that ball, and it eats him up, especially in the grass.
Great play.
Didn't even catch that cleanly, too. That's just showing you what he's trying to do, is just trying to keep it in front of him. That ball gets by him. It's a run, easy run.
Garrett Hampson, 261 the average, 3 home runs, 11 RBIs, and that's hit out of play. Edman shares the major league lead in outs above average. We're talking about essentially very tough plays like that one, and leads the Cardinals with 10 defensive gems, and some of those have come in right field where he had never played a professional inning until the major leagues.
I'm telling you, there's a gold glove coming to that young man someday.
The 0-1. Tommy told me, I said, well, you had to have played it then at Stanford, right? Nope.
Nope.
So his first innings in the outfield were at the major league level, and he's playing above average. Well above. I asked Mike Schilt about him today on a Zoom, and he said Tommy really has improved offensively too, in terms of not chasing pitches out of the zone, understanding strike zone, growing in the game at this level. That's fouled back, and we can put him anywhere and understand that we don't have to worry about him. Oh, 0-2 the count with 2 outs. 20 pitches here in the first inning for Carlos Martinez.
I still remember that play that he made, but I kept asking you, was it 17 or 18? When
18.
He was already sent down. They brought him back up to play against either the Nationals.
And a high fly ball. Left center, Bader over, and makes the catch.
Nationals or Houston. He went in the hole and dove, and I said, how is he keeping this guy off this roster?
And he was up later that year and has never turned back. Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson, and Paul Goldschmidt here in this first inning. Then Arenado, DeYoung, Molina, O'Neill, Bader, and Martinez. Chichi Gonzalez, the starter for the Rockies. He's 1-0 in 4 starts this year. Made 12 starts for Colorado in 2019. After having a couple of seasons without a major league appearance. And another one of those guys that took a while to recover from Tommy John, and now in the rotation. 4 starts last year, 2 relief appearances. His second season with Colorado, went 0-2 with a high ERA. And the first pitch, a ball to Tommy Edman. Here's a 1-0. Hit out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tommy so far this year hitting .299, the 2-1. 2-2.
Good little cutter right there, a little backdoor cutter.
Tommy on a 5-game hitting streak. Reached base safely in 8 straight. .393 is average this month. Just got a piece to stay alive. We keep mentioning it because he is a catalyst, but when he scores, the Cardinals win. They are now 16-0.
16, I was going to say 16-0 after last night, right?
Yep, when he scores a run. The 2-2. Out of play, making him work here at the top. We'll have at least a 7-pitch at bat to start offensively for St. Louis.
Just another weapon for Mike Shildt out of Tommy Edman.
How helpful is that, though, for the guy on deck? I mean, you're paying attention a little bit here. You're Dylan Carlson. You're seeing various pitches.
I mean, it definitely helps, especially if you're reading the pitches coming out of the hand, coming out of the glove, what have you. But then it just depends on the pitcher, right? A lot of guys try to get through that first round or first inning with just pumping fastballs and say a changeup. If a guy's going to throw all of his pitches to the first hitter, that definitely is a good sign for the guys to come up after him. But I always used to think about it in the way of everyone's going to get pitched differently depending on who you are. You know that Tommy's going to get pitched a little different than Dylan does, and obviously the bigger guys, 3, 4, 5, are going to get pitched differently. But at least you see a little bit of the break. At least you see a little bit of the velocity, or what we talk about all the time is that late life. If all of a sudden I'm looking up there and seeing 93 and Tommy's swinging and missing at everything, I'm thinking, okay, something's wrong. And then it gives you a little bit of an alert. You better choke up or be ready to go early.
2-2 and a base hit. Tommy Edman. What an at bat. Hustling around first. 9-pitch at bat. Tommy Edman and a single. I brought up to Mike Shildt this morning your point. We both made it about last night. Edman at first base, Pop Warner holding him at third, and he said that is Tommy Edman to a T. And if you're the opposition, you know that this guy hustles. He said, you know, if we would have sent him and he got thrown out, would have had no problem with it. You had a big lead at that time, could have done it, but
it would have been a nice.
Hustles.
Yeah, he hustles. It was interesting right there too. 2 strikes, backdoor, kind of looked like a cutter, 2-seamer. Third baseman way off the line, easy base hit, but left fielder way over towards the line. It's kind of interesting how you're going to give him the whole third base area on the ground, but in the outfield you're going to shade him over there. So obviously playing 2 different ways between the infield and the outfield, but thank you very much for that base hit.
Dylan Carlson, we mentioned it in the open, 367 the average here at Busch Stadium. Also riding a 5-game hitting streak. It's the 4th best home batting average in the National League. The 0-1. Base hit into center. Edman touches the bag at second, on his way to third. Runners at the corners for the Cardinals here in the bottom of the first, and nobody out.
Just didn't get it where he wanted it. A little too much of the plate at 91 mile an hour. Just a nice job by Dylan Carlson. He's just really done such an incredible job. And you know what I think? I think he gave up on overswinging, not seeing him trying to go deep, just really trying to take his time and get some pitches to hit.
So runners at the corners, nobody out. Here's Paul Goldschmidt. All those years in Arizona among active leaders against the Rockies. Goldie first in extra base hits, 70 against Colorado. First in doubles and runs batted in, over 100. And he's hit 24 home runs against Colorado. Big gap in left center. And the 1-0. 1 ball and 1 strike. That's the pitch that we have seen time and again on this homestand being delivered to Paul Goldschmidt.
Yeah, the guys are really pitching him a little bit backwards, a little differently. Got hot for a little bit. Now he's kind of flattened out a little bit, but I feel like he's getting closer, like day to day right now.
Base hit into right. The game is tied. Goldschmidt drives in Tommy Edman, and it's 1-1.
I kind of noticed the other day when we were watching the game, and he took a couple of swings where he was kind of on his front heel, and you could see him kind of thinking, you know, you could see when good players are thinking at the plate. Take a look right here, and that's a good swing. You can't really see his feet here, but his feet are firmly on the ground, and his body's just staying right there still over the plate. And that's the Paul Goldschmidt that we know. When you see him start to fall back or fall after a swing and miss, something's not balanced with him, and that's his game, his balance.
3 consecutive singles to start the afternoon for the Cardinals. Here's Nolan Arenado. 2 hits last night against his former team. First time up, a double, ground rule double into the corner in right yesterday. 2 on, nobody out. And ball 1. This all starts with a 9-pitch at bat by Tommy Edman.
Yeah, you take a look too. Also, when Gonzalez struggles, he gets behind, and opponents are hitting almost 300 against him when he's behind in the count. So that means he's either missing a lot when he's trying to throw a strike or having to throw a strike, or really doesn't have that good life some days when he's trying to get back into the count, and guys are taking advantage of it.
1 ball, 1 strike. Base hit by Edman inside the third base line. Dylan Carlson whacked a single into center. Base hit into right by Goldschmidt. His 18th run batted in. The 1-1 pitch to Nolan Arenado. 2 balls and 1 strike. It's the 9th multi-hit game this year. The Cardinals 8-1 when he gets 2 or more hits in a game. 7 for 17 during this homestand. And as time goes on, we'll find out if he loves hitting against his former team. The 2-1 pitch. Puts it in play, slowly hit. Only play across the diamond. That's Story to Joe. Runners advance to second and third. Round the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. That's Connor Joe. He's at first base. McMahon at second. Story at short. Fuentes at third. Nunez behind the plate. Tapia, Hampson, Blackman in the outfield. Paul DeYoung with 2 runners on. Couple of strikeouts yesterday for DeYoung. He hadn't struck out twice in a game since April 18th. So that was 16 games ago. Third longest stretch of his career. DeYoung, a base hit into center. 1 run will score. The Cardinals have the lead. Goldschmidt held at third. 2-1 St. Louis. 4 hits in the inning.
Think they're happy to have Yadi back?
You bet. In his career, when Yadier Molina is in the lineup and starts at catcher, the Cardinals have a .563 winning percentage. When he doesn't start, it's 537. And with the amount of games that he's played at catcher, well over 2,000, that is a huge amount of difference.
A lot of games to compare it to. Not what you say your sample size. That's not your sample size. That's a large amount of games.
That's big. Runners at the corners, one down for Molina. Runner goes. And a stolen base for Paul DeJong, his first of the year. It's the kind of entertaining baseball that you love to see.
It's a good jump right there by Paulie. Just taking advantage of a little maybe concentration lack, or more concentration on the hitter after you've given up a couple of hits in a row.
The 1-0. So in his career, Jimmy, I was doing some of the numbers. When Yadier Molina starts at catcher in his career, the Cardinals are 246 games above 500. 246. That's an incredible stat. And the difference that he makes with how involved he is in the game by being a catcher, handling the staff, the pitcher's ERA, the timely hits. The 1-1. So far, Molina this year at home batting .360. He has to feed off this crowd.
Oh,
fans back in the stands.
By the way, I would feed off the crowd if I was standing out there with him. It's exciting. Like, you got one of your best players back.
Yep. The chance of Yadi just about every time he comes to the plate here at home. And the 1-2 pitch puts it in play. That'll score a run. 3-1 Cardinals on the RBI by Yadier Molina, his 15th.
And I'll tell you what, that is not super flashy. He's not sprinting down the line. Exit velocity is probably about 55, but that's winning baseball right there. He knows that he has to put this ball in play. That's all he has to do, put it in play. You could tell right there, not selfish, just winning baseball. And that is why he's that many games above 500 when he's in the lineup.
So all three at the top of the lineup had singles, and all three score. 3-1 Cardinals. Now Tyler O'Neill. Fastball low and outside. Wins above replacement, which is a stat that really measures the worth of a player. Everybody's using it, talking about it in baseball. Here's a 1-0 pitch. Tyler O'Neill played in 50 games last year at a .5 WAR, wins above replacement. This year, 22 games already at .5. So he's playing a much better level of baseball here in 2021. The 1-1. Ground ball foul to Pop Warner, who said, nope, not on this cold day. Not touching it.
No, thank you.
What's that conversation? It's one-sided, I would assume. Maybe. Or maybe there was times that you could see Martinez shaking off Molina and they want to talk about it.
Well, you can just see right there talking about getting after it a little bit with the fastball. But I think right now he's saying, hey, we got a lead. You're going to have to throw strikes, get ahead, and put guys away, and do it quickly.
A strikeout of Tyler O'Neill. Cardinals have an early lead.
We head to the second. Cards up 3-1. Yadier Molina back in the lineup today after missing 11 games with a right foot issue. Watching Yadi take BP yesterday, it was kind of obvious that he was ready to go. Mike Schultz says he's never surprised by Yadi's ability to recover quickly. Schultz said Yadi is the toughest person he's ever met. Schultz told me everyone has their own pain tolerance. If there's a guy with a pain tolerance equal with Yadi's, I'd like to see it. He takes a beating, doesn't flinch, just moves forward. Dan Schultz said part of it for Yadi is a mental competition. He said Yadi won't give in to pain. and he won't show you any weakness.
Yeah, who knows how truly banged up he's been at times, but yet doesn't say a word. He's out there every day for the most part.
Well, I think that when you play every day, you just learn how to deal with it. You don't go through a season with ever being healthy the whole time. You let alone go through a week or a month, especially as a catcher. I mean, you always have aches and pains, and you just learn how to get to the ballpark a little bit earlier, get some blood into the area, hot tub, cold tub, whatever it takes to get loose, and go out there and do your job.
3-1 fouled back. Mike Shildt does such a good job on the Zooms and answering everybody with a sense of respect. You know, some of those things in those media scrums can get, I mean, we've all seen him in baseball. He does it every day before and after the games, and there's a leadoff walk. Jim asked his question on the Zoom, and the first thing that Mike Shildt said before I answer it, hey, Jim, congratulations on 20 years of being with the Cardinals. It's a great accomplishment. We're talking about Jim Hayes. If you missed it yesterday, Jim won't tell you, but I will. Jim Hayes, with 20 years now, is a member of our broadcast team with the Cardinals, and that's a heck of a run.
That's 20 years of being in the middle of a media scrum.
Yes.
That was a nice way to put it.
That's 20 years of getting yelled at by Tony La Russa.
Ooh.
Think about that.
Or how long was he here?
Tony?
Yeah.
From 96 until 2011.
Well, Jim helped him, put him on the map with Tony TV. So
he did. That was must-see TV.
Jim was smart. He let other guys start the questions. Got to kind of know when to defer, right?
Well, you got to make sure you get credit for the question you ask and the answers. That's very important.
What was the guy's name that always went first?
I can picture him.
You always heard Tony say something, but Jim has had to be second because
Calvin May.
Yeah, but once we started winning, Tony was like, so superstitious.
Or even if it was a tough loss, no.
Calvin's still got to speak first.
Calvin, very nice man, but he always got the first question. Here's a 1-1.
You could just see the different Carlos Martinez today. His mechanics are a little wacky. I always watch to see not where the front foot lands as much as where the shoulders are and where the fall off is for him. Sometimes he kind of, at release point, he is all the way over by the first base dugout. That is not where you want to be.
I noticed in the couple of starts that Kisner was behind the play. Nice play made by the ball man.
Ball man. That's what I was going to say.
Not a ball boy.
It was a ball man.
He's a grown man. But, Carlos was shaking him off a bunch, and he has shook off Molina a little bit here early on. And that's not necessarily a bad thing.
No, you want him to be in charge. You want him to want to throw the pitch that he wants to throw.
The 2-2. Backing up Bader. Connor Joe goes halfway between first and second and back to the bag. Download the MLB app to get in-game video highlights, live pitch by pitch, breaking news, player updates, stat leaderboards, and more for your Cardinals.
How about this conversation in the clubhouse, like yesterday? Hey, Yachty, we know you're healthy, but Andrew's been doing a nice job with Martinez, so we're going to let you wait another day. Yeah, that's not going to work.
That doesn't fly. No.
But with all due respect, Andrew has done a really nice job replacing Yachty while he was hurt.
Here's a 1-0 pitch to Josh Fuentes. 1 ball and 1 strike. The cousin of Nolan Arenado. And now he's at third, and Nolan is at third here in St. Louis. Here's a 1-1. Up the middle, diving stop, an attempt by Tommy Edman just off his glove. He almost came up with it, and it's a base hit into center.
So he comes up with that. I almost came out of my seat. That was a heck of a play. Ball was hit hard.
He did get a glove on it too.
Oh, well, when you see the glove go out, you thought he had it.
Yeah.
And just, you see what happened right there. The umpire was right in the way. If you can, too bad we can't go right back to that first. But when you're diving as an infielder and the ball has to cross over the umpire, you lose it for a split second. That just completely messes everything up.
Chichi Gonzalez, 286 his average. Runners at first and third.
Another thing I noticed there too is I think that at the beginning Bader running in might have a chance at third, but over the years he's learned not to throw the ball away, keep the double play in order, and he does a nice job of just kind of slowing it down, get the ball, flip it into second base, make sure there's no mistakes.
Throw down to third and back in safely. Runner from first staying put as well. That's Fuentes. That was the safety squeeze there.
Oh.
Really almost just a sacrifice, trying to advance that runner to second base.
Joe better watch out.
Offered at it, strike two.
What do you think? What do you think about that one-handed bunt attempt right there? Probably not the best way to get the bunt down.
Not great.
I think sometimes when you just see the ball and you're supposed to do something, your brain just says, "Oh, just do it no matter what."
Gets the bunt down here. Play at the plate. The tag applied by Molina. Not much of a jump at all by Fuentes, as that was deadened out, and really a fairly easy play for Martinez to Yadier Molina.
Well, I'm surprised after seeing the pitch before that they even tried that again, but got to try to score some runs.
He's got to get a better jump down the line if he's going to attempt that.
I think you were right at the beginning of the at bat when you said safety squeeze / sacrifice. I think he was just hoping he could push it to the right more. If that ball's off towards first base, it's an easy score. But he bunted it right back at Martinez, and he's a good athlete. Jumped off the mound and made that play look easy.
And a strike to Tapia. Walked and scored back in the first. Runners at first and second. Ground ball fair, taken there by Goldschmidt. And the Rockies strand a pair, so Martinez out of trouble. Midway through two, St. Louis on top. Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. Rain, rain, stay away.
Stay away. I love that look right there.
Beautiful.
There's something about that arch.
Harrison Bader with a home run last night. Now with 3. This just got over the wall. Then he missed first base. Had to go back and touch it. 2-run homer.
There is the salute to the booth right there. Saluting you.
Oh, Jimmy, I think he might be saluting you. .231 the average with 8 runs batted in and the 3 home runs. Cardinals with a lead 3-1, bottom of the second. First pitch taken a bit low. On a chilly day here at Busch Stadium. Mike Schill talking about Harrison Bader, saying that they started seeing this type of approach and swing at the end of last year, and it's carried over to this season.
Well, I think right now what you're seeing is a very calm Harrison Bader, and to be honest with you, I didn't know if he had that in him. He is so high strung, fast twitch, does everything aggressive. And this is what you like to see out of him. Taking pitches, borderline pitches. And that's the thing. So rewind right here, these 4 pitches. What first pitch ball, second pitch cutter, slider away. It's a strike. In the previous years, the next pitch to me is almost an automatic swing for him because he doesn't want to get down by 2 strikes. And right now he's just kind of relaxed, not worried about it. He's getting a good look at the ball in the strike zone and not just the ball in general. And he's getting to take some really nice swings, and that's another one right there. So strong, so quick, so athletic. I just think he's got nowhere to go but up.
Three-two. Hit out of play.
He's really doing a nice job of not trying to pull balls anymore. The one thing that I see the maturity level a little bit is you start to recognize a hitter getting better. What is he doing? He's hitting fastballs middle the other way, and he's pulling the breaking ball because it's hanging and is getting around to it. He's not trying to yank.
3-2 pitch. Hits it the other way. Will it get down? No. Slicing back towards Blackman.
That is not good right there. That is a nice swing. Ball's right down the middle away. Didn't hit his spot. Hits it hard. Some bad luck. Hit it right at him. I just love watching these young guys change on the fly. Start to swing the bat better and better every time they go out there. Ball's 103 off the bat right there.
Carlos Martinez chops one to third. Fuentes 2 away. So 2 outs, back to the top of the lineup. One back of Xander Bogaerts, the Major League Baseball hit leaders. Then Martinez, J.D. Martinez, Mullins, and Yuli Gurriel. Big Cardinal fan watching in Boonville, the pride of Boonville, Missouri. Joe Schuster, huge Cardinal fan, watching this afternoon. Happy birthday, Joe. Or excuse me, Jeff Schuster. Jeff Schuster, the pride of Boonville.
You have Joe in the brain.
Joe was sending me the request, so I had Joe in the brain, but it is Jeff Schuster.
And then Connor Joe out on the field.
That's right. Watching his every move.
You're a Joe overload right now.
The 2-0 pitch. It'll be interesting as this game goes along. And Jimmy, if they win, you go back, and I know it may be a little too much to say at this point, but the 9-pitch at bat to start the game by Tommy Edman. How important that is.
Well, it is. I mean, you said it right away, right? It's just gives everyone a look. It's a really good start for him. And to be honest with you, as much as that is a great at bat, the base hit is just so great. Just then take it, little backdoor slider cutter, just hit it the other way, not trying to do too much.
Gonzalez underhands to Connor Joe. So 1, 2, 3 go the Cardinals, and we move to the third. Cardinals won 5-0 last night. 19th career game, 7 innings pitched. 9th career game, 7 innings, no runs, 3 hits. Retired 13 he faced in a row at one point. Faced 18 of 19 after the first inning. They went down. And he's the first pitcher in Major League Baseball to win 6 this year. Very good last night in game number 1 of this series.
And he had a homer.
And there's that too.
That homer was impressive.
Long one.
Well, here you go.
Well, Jimmy, you were talking about it. They got it ready for you.
415 feet.
Ooh. Swing and a miss by Trevor Story. 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. 0-2 the count.
That is filthy right there.
See if he settles in. Fly ball into shallow right. Carlson there to make the catch.
It's a good job right there. You see, I don't know what the pitch before was. I don't think it was a fastball. Might have been a little bit of a changeup, but 2-strike pitch right there to Story. Just a nasty sinker, off-speed changeup, BP fastball. And then what does he do, Yachty? Right back in there with the fastball with more velocity. And so he can't catch up. And that's just a nice job right there by both of these guys. Location-wise by Martinez, and then game calling by Yachty.
Well, the Rockies scored the first run of the game, and then you had a situation with runners at first and third and only 1 out. That's a fair ball off the bat of McMahon.
Changeup is ridiculous right there.
Curious what you think about this. The fact that Yachty threw down to third, if that made Fuentes, who was running, a little hesitant.
I think it was Joe.
Or Joe, excuse me. Yeah, sorry. Joe, who was the runner at third. If that made him, because he had to get back, if that plays a part in maybe a step or two where he's going back to the bag or just hesitant.
Well, I mean,
and I think you know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, and I see your point, but I got a million points. One, I don't know if I'd put that play back on because of the attempted bunt on the pitch before, but that has an everlasting idea in your mind of the guy at third also. Like, I'm like, wait, if he just did that, what's he going to do if I'm running down the line? And he was lucky enough to put it in play, or that he gave him a strike to bunt. But if I see that as a runner at third, I'm really not breaking down the line that hard on the next one, thinking if that's the effort level he's going to give, I don't know if I want to be thrown out.
Sharply past Arenado and into left. And Charlie Blackmon is 1 for 2.
That does nothing but hit. Still shocked the fact that he's hitting 204.
Extends the inning to Garrett Hampson with 2 outs. They're in the top of the third.
That's a nice piece of hitting right here too. He doesn't try to do anything special. But do you know what I'm saying? Like, think about this and just as your experience, right? Throw a slider away. The guy reaches out with one hand as if to say, like, I really want to bunt that. And then you put the same play on again, and then the runner at third is supposed to break down the line hard. Kind of hard to do. No excuses. I'm just saying, if I'm at third, I'm going, wait a second. I'm also shocked that they put that play back on too, to be honest with you.
And that's what I was surprised with too. But, you know, his jump wasn't very good getting down the line.
Shocked that the ball was put back in play.
Here's a 1-0. Tapped foul. 1 ball and 1 strike.
To be honest with you, I don't know if I've ever seen that before, that second attempt at the bunt. We just kind of throw one reach out there like it's your first pitch of batting practice and you're kind of just testing the speed. Throw one arm out there with the bat.
Here's a 1-1. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Good time for that sinker inside right here. Just tie him up. I think that's why the outside of the plate looks so big for some of these guys, is because they're expecting that sinker. I'm going to go with the breaking ball.
Kept in front by Molina. Two and two the count. Charlie Blackmon, the runner at first base.
Sometimes as players we can give the opposition just too much credit. I think that's what you're seeing right here. Too many sliders out of the zone. Just go ahead and get him.
That's to the backstop. Blackmon was running on the pitch on 3 and 2 and 2 outs. So another walk, the third in the ball game by Carlos Martinez.
First baseman, Connor Joe.
There's Connor Joe. Runners at first and second. Walked his first time up.
It's that changeup again. Might throw that a few times more.
It's already 55 pitches by Carlos Martinez with 2 outs here in the third. And the 0-1 pitch. Arenado will go across the diamond and gets him by step. Rockies have stranded 5 in 3 innings. In Major League history, there have been at least 4 no-hitters through May 7th in a season. Last night, Wade Miley for the Reds. The other year was 1917. 5 happened through this date. So the time between John Means' no-hitter and Wade Miley's 2 days, shortest span between no-hitters since 1990, when Fernando Valenzuela actually no-hit the Cardinals. Dave Stewart, June 29th of 1990, through no-hitters in the same day. Second time that Cleveland has been no-hit this season.
Well, that's not good.
Musgrove of San Diego, Joe Musgrove, did it against Texas at their ballpark April 9th. It was the first no-hitter in Padres history. Here's a 1-0. Carlos Rodon, the White Sox, gave Tony La Russa the privilege of being the first manager to see 2 no-hitters in both the American League and National League. That's hit out of play. He saw Jose Jimenez and Bud Smith.
Holy play. You missed that one. That was a jumping one-handed bare hand grab on a liner. Sorry to interrupt. What's this?
Oh, wow. That's the play of the game right there. That has to be the play of the game.
Unbelievable.
He's got an Arenado jersey, I think.
That was something else.
Well, he is in some kind of pain, too. On a cold day.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
I'm not trying that again, but I got a
Arenado
souvenir.
light down there. That was awesome.
Sorry to interrupt your
no-hitting
story.
Well, John Means, he just shipped his hat and glove to the Hall of Fame. Wade Miley, oldest pitcher, 34 to throw a no-no since the big unit did it in 04.
He was 40, right?
Yep. That was against Atlanta. And don't forget, Madison Bumgarner actually had the 7-inning no-hitter, but not considered a no-hitter. So depending on how you want to look at it, you've had 5. That play was fantastic by that fan. Carlson singled to center, and now he's hit by the pitch.
That wasn't even close.
I think it hit the ground and then got his foot. Not by much, just enough.
Tell you what, he got out of that one lucky. That looked like it could have hurt.
Off the side of the foot there, better look. So Dylan Carlson is at first base, on base twice today. There's Paul Goldschmidt, RBI single to right, and a run scored in that first inning. Up and in, and that's ball 1. Cardinals have a stolen base today. That was DeYoung back in the first, in his first of 2021. One ball, one strike.
I'm telling you, he's even taking pitches better. He's getting there. It's like the body control. You know what I'm saying? Like, you watch the takes, and then you watch the swing. The finish of the swing on a swing and miss will tell you a lot too. Is which way is the body going?
The 1-1 into center, and Goldschmidt is 2 for 2.
You're welcome.
Nolan Arenado 10 for 31 with runners in scoring position. Grounded to short with 2 runners on, first time up. Matt Holliday, his career as a Cardinal against the Rockies, played in 38 games, .377 the average. Huge OPS, and you wonder about what will happen with Nolan Arenado over these years against his former team. As you've talked about, Jimmy, you get a little amped up in a long season to face your former team. As we take a look at our Kia player profile, this homestand, 7 for 18. 2 extra base hits.
On a day's work or a couple days work.
The 0-1. So the Cardinals picked up Larry Walker in the stretch run of 04, all of 05 from Denver. He's headed to the Hall of Fame. Matt Holliday will be a Cardinal Hall of Famer probably before it's all said and done. Great career here in St. Louis. Impact both on and off the field, and now Nolan Arenado. Talking with Michael Gersh yesterday, I said, if you could pull back the curtain a little bit, what was it like? He said, we thought we had Nolan, that deal done. And there's the 3 that we're talking about, but he said at one point, okay, we think it's done, and then 24 hours later, uh-oh, it's falling apart. Then 24 hours later, we got it done. Very complicated deal to bring him here. 2-2. And they obviously had their eye on him for a long time.
Well, I think sometimes I always heard that they talked about a little about him coming here, but I feel like every year they talk about the best player in the league coming here. I feel like when you don't hear a lot about it, those are when the deals get done.
2-2. Fouled back. Made another terrific play yesterday on a one hopper, just a bullet. 2 hits.
That was another play that blew my mind. I mean, that's just the athletic ability and the hand-eye coordination of stuff guys just don't have, and he has it. And the ball eats up 9 out of 10 third basemen, and he just backs off it a little bit, clears his body out of the way so he can get the glove there. And because some of those balls you can't get in front because your hands can't react up and down fast enough.
2-2, back to him, and both runners back safely.
You can't really get in the ground ball position and have your hands come up with a ball hit 100 miles an hour. And that's why you see a lot of guys get hit in the chest. So he kind of sidesteps that second ball. You see here's just a nice play with he sidesteps it, but makes a good strong throw. But this is the play I'm talking about right here. And if he stays in front of that, I don't think his hands can come up quick enough. So when you see a lot of guys take balls off the chest and the wrist, it's because there's only so much your body can do. If you sidestep that, you have that glove that's so big, and you don't, it's just, you're just turning the wrist a little bit, and then you have so much glove to work with, and it's just, it's like the thing we saw with Tommy Edman today at second base. I'd love to see the details of a guy make a play where you can see him start to go to his left, and all of a sudden he goes, I'm not going to make this play if I don't come and get it. That's what's special about this game.
Inside to Paul DeYoung. RBI single. Stolen base back in the first. That RBI was number 16. He's got 16 driven in, and he's hitting below 200. The 1-1. Tapped foul. Thinking about Larry Walker, it was Bob Gebhardt who was in the Cardinals organization. He was the original GM of the Rockies and drafted Matt Holliday, so he had intimate knowledge of those players to bring them to St. Louis. Holliday was with Oakland at the time, but obviously the better part of his career in Denver. He said you bring him here because, and he worked with both Walt and Mo, and he said you bring him here because you know if you expose them to the fan base, you will get the most out of these players. He said that stuff that people talk about, St. Louis special place to play, he said it's true. And he's been in baseball for over 50 years. The 2-2 out of play.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, obviously, and I just think back to I feel like it's a shame that his first couple games weren't in front of 40,000 people.
Absolutely.
Looking around and seeing this crowd here, and as many people as we can get in here are here, but man, it would be great to have that crowd back.
We're around 14,000 right now, and hopefully maybe next homestand or two we open it up even more. The 2-2 pitch. Good take.
That is another good job by Paulie right there. He's don't get too excited.
So the runners are off with this pitch potentially with one out. Why not? Maybe start him up. Who knows? Carlson back in safely. And the 3-2 pitch. Runners do go, and it's out of play. So the Cardinals aggressive. When Mike Schilt took over, one of the first series that he had was against the Rockies, and the Cardinals were running wild. And he almost got them into postseason play. They were hovering right around 500 at the break, and then he took over.
Well,
and that's what he does in the minor leagues.
But I like that right there. You start the runners here. He's only got one strikeout today, Gonzalez. So doesn't really have that put away pitch. You're going to take a chance.
And now the base is loaded. This crowd will definitely come alive because look who's coming up. Inning started with Carlson hit by a pitch. Goldschmidt the single to center. Arenado line back to the pitcher. DeYoung the walk and the chance of Yachty, who has 6 career grand slams. Outfield is deep straight away. First pitch to him.
He heard you.
A little smile there from Yachty. He was letting that rip. You take your shots though, don't you?
Yeah, right there you do. Especially if you faced him before, you know what kind of fastball he has. And right now, you know what you do? You try to hit a ball into right center field, get a run in. Hopefully you can hit it in the gap or just get it over the infielders, but you take a sac fly right here.
The 0-1 pitch to Yadier Molina instead. Gonzalez steps off. Molina came up with runners at second and third. His return to the lineup back in the first, 1 out, grounded out softly to second, picked up a run, batted in. 3-1 Cardinals. Cardinals fell behind 1-0, then answered with 3 in the bottom of the first. And time called by Molina. The 6th career grand slam, 6th most all-time in franchise history. Hornsby, Boyer, Simmons all have 7. Guy named Albert with 12. Up the middle, base hit off the glove of McMahon. 1 run is in. Here comes Goldschmidt to the plate. Save! And Yachty drives in 2. 3 so far and counting in this game in his return to the lineup.
I mean, you really can't draw it up any better right there. From a right-hander to a right-handed hitter. Stay inside the ball. Don't try to do too much. And you know what? Really crazy. When you do everything right, you get rewarded. Took that shot, the first pitch. Didn't get the pitch to hit, swung through it. So shorten up a little bit. Hit a line drive up the middle.
Cardinals lead 5-1 here in the home half of the third. And the batter will be Tyler O'Neill. Struck out back in the first. He's 0 for his last 13 with 5 strikeouts. Jhoulys Chacín, right-hander, starting to throw. Pitch count at 66 for Gonzalez. So Tyler O'Neill is due.
Oh, and you can just kind of see. You just talked about Tyler O'Neill struggling a little bit lately. You see right there, You talk to hitters, even back in the day, obviously, at any time, they start to say, I'm not seeing the ball that well. And so they go down this checklist of why. And it's usually, one, trying to do too much, or two, just maybe a little bit too much movement. But you got to figure out why, because it's really hard to hit when you can't see the ball.
The 0-1. O'Neill, double play ball, 6-4-3 on the double play. Yachty has driven in threes up to 17. Cardinals have a 5-1 lead. Download the McDonald's app to grab a $1 any size frozen beverage. That's every game day. So Yachty now has driven in 17 this year, and he's missed games because of being on the IL, and yet he is third among catchers in all of baseball in runs batted in, behind Carson Kelly, who's had a really good start with Arizona, and Salvador Perez in Kansas City. Good for Carson Kelly.
Yep. Good ballpark to hit in, too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I guess good would be an understatement, but
ball flies out of
wow.
there. Nunez 0 for his last 9, couple of strikeouts. Then Fuentes and Gonzalez for Colorado. Shift on the right side, and there's a strike underway here in the 4th inning. Busch Stadium.
Didn't realize that we were going to need a parka today.
It is chilly. 1 ball, 1 strike. Not very deep in the outfield. We mentioned the 3 infielders on the right side. Memphis is winless so far against the Durham Bulls. 0-4. Zach Thompson will make a debut today. Max Moroff off to a terrific start, though. 3 starts, 7 for 10. Home run, 5 runs, 2 doubles.
Not a bad start.
Made an impression in spring training.
The Durham Bulls used to be A-ball, right? They cleaned that up and made it bigger, or double A? They were never triple A before.
Well, everything has been shuffled.
Yeah. Always wanted to see that place.
Ooh, didn't get the call, a little bit low.
Still catch myself watching that movie Bull Durham every now and then when it's on.
Oh, yeah. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout for Carlos Martinez.
We got some action going on in this pitch right here. A little change up. Wow.
Now Fuentes. How do you like that pitch? Motion back to Martinez as if to say, yep, that's where I wanted it. Fuentes 1 for 1 with a base hit that was just off the glove of Tommy Edman. One cousin gets another. Picked by Goldie.
Got to stop hitting it to him.
Want to work part-time at Busch Stadium? Sports Service, the official concessionaire of Busch Stadium, hosting a hiring event this Thursday, May 13th. Open interviews will take place at Gate 3 from 2 to 6. Free parking, complimentary ballpark food will be provided for all applicants. For more information, visit cardinals.com/jobs. And a strike to Chichi Gonzalez. Nothing in 2. Gonzalez tried to bunt. A couple runners on last time up. Martinez hopped off the mound. Little shovel pass to Molina to get the runner trying to score. That was Connor Joe. 0-2 the count. Out of play. Gonzalez won his first career road start June 5th, 2015. Complete game shutout. He's only had 11 road starts since 2019. Had Tommy John, so working his way back. That's fouled back.
Pretty good take right there.
By the way, Yachty is closing in with 3 more runs batted in on 1,000. He needs 51 for 1,000 runs batted in. 2-2. Now with over 2,000 games behind the plate. He has over 2,000 hits. It's been 7 catchers that have done that. 2,000 hits, 1,000 runs batted in. Chops it off the plate. Martinez to Goldie. 7, 8, and 9 retired. Bader, Martinez, Edman coming up. The Bob Gibson statue just outside the ballpark. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by Ford, the official car and truck of the St. Louis Cardinals. A lot of scoring, a lot of action in that first inning. Entertaining baseball. Tommy Edman, really good play here off the bat of Charlie Blackmon. Rockies did jump out to a 1-0 lead. And then it was a 9-pitch at bat by Tommy Edman. Dylan Carlson to center. Paul Goldschmidt would take this to right. Brought in the first run. We were tied 1-1. DeYoung would add a base hit. Yadier Molina would also add an RBI, the first of 3 today for the Cardinal catcher, back in the lineup. And the Cardinals now enjoying a 5-1 lead. Harrison Bader, Carlos Martinez, and Tommy Edman. Bader line to right, first time up. Hey, congratulations, Justin Bryant. That is the son of Vicky Bryant, who has been a longtime Cardinals employee. Justin graduated with honors today from Webster University. BA from the School of Communications. And that is one proud mama. Vicky Bryant, congratulations. Congratulations to your son, Justin. Michael Langston, who helps us out in the radio booth as well. He was walking around today with cap and gown here as he's going to graduate as well. That's popped up by Bader. And the first out. Carlos Martinez grounded out to third. I like that Carlos is wearing the armor on the left arm. He's got the look of a hitter, doesn't he?
Yeah, the blue one.
Personalized with the tsunami.
Another new company out there. 44. catching you up on all this stuff?
What's the 44 stand for?
It's a new glove company, and they've done some armor, as you call it.
Shallow center coming on. Garrett Hampson, and making the play will be Ryan McMahon, the second baseman. May 21st through the 23rd, Cubs are in town. 10,000 fans entering with a ticket. Take home an adult replica embroidered jersey, courtesy of Scott Credit Union. It's a red jersey that you see the Cardinals wear in spring. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. So 2 outs in Tommy Edman, 1 for 2. Singled inside the third base line to start things off in the first, and grounded back to the pitcher. Little chopper to the right side, and taking it will be Connor Joe.
Five-1 Cardinals as we go to the 5th in St. Louis. Matt Adams got a robust ovation last night during his first at-bat. It's not like it's his first trip back to St. Louis, but Cardinal fans always seem to show big city some love. Adams says he can't express how much he appreciates that. He told me Cardinal fans make it clear, once you wear the birds on the bat, you are always a Cardinal. The support they've shown to me, even as a visiting player, means the world to me. Danny, as you know, Matt and his wife Kim live in St. Louis and are very active with local charities. And to be honest, my hit last night kind of stepped on his ovation, so this is a make good.
All right, it's a make good. I get it, but you had a foul ball coming your way. You had to take care of business. Off the glove of Arenado, and into shallow left is Tapia is on base for the second time to go along with a walk.
Shortstop, Trevor Story.
Even if he gloves that cleanly with the speed of Tapia, I'm not sure you're going to get him.
Look at that ball kind of kicked back at him. It went underneath him a little bit.
So we're in the 5th inning. Here is Trevor Story. Story twice has flied out to right. That's ripped out to left. O'Neill over off his glove. Tapia touches the bag at second, and runners at second and third with nobody out. Ruled a double on that play.
Ball was hit a little bit. I think he runs it down. It just kind of gets over his head right there. It's a tough play once that ball goes over your head. You can't really see it anymore, and sometimes those hurt. They hit you in the hand, hit you in the knuckles, hit you in that thumb knuckle. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. There's Ryan McMahon out of play. I see you're diving into the video.
Trying to figure out if it hit him in the glove or in the bare hand.
Out of play. 0-2. McMahon is 1 for 2. Hitting .308 with runners in scoring position, a double, 2 home runs. He's driven in 11 in this spot. And the 0-2 pitch. Outfield is straight away. Struck him out. McMahon knew it. Strikeout number 2 for Martinez.
That is not how you want to take a pitch With that run on third base right there, man, you just want to put this ball in play.
Charlie Blackmon 1 for 2 with a base hit to left field. 2 runners on. First pitch to Blackmon in the dirt. The 2-0 pitch to Charlie Blackmon, taken outside. Martinez has walked 3. Garrett Hampson on deck. Well, you're down by 4 with a guy that could get you right back in the game on 3-0. What do you think?
I say you be super careful and maybe not throw a pitch down the middle like that.
Ooh, boy. Three and 1 to count. Tons of room in left center. Arenado well off the line at third base. Tommy Edman on the outfield grass at second. And he walked him. Wow. So the bases are loaded. We mentioned it last night. The Cardinals were in that day game coming off the heels of 11 walks. 11 with the kind of defense they have behind them.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said, you have as good as an infield as there is in the big leagues as a group, and you want to use it. And then you have an athletic outfield. No, I think sometimes, you know, as a pitcher, like I said, give guys too much credit. Try to make perfect pitches. See what happens when you run the pitch count up just because you're wasting an extra pitch per hitter. Think about that all the way around, right? That's if you do that halfway through the lineup, that's 5 or 6 or 7 pitches, you know, per every 2-3 innings, and it just adds up. And then if you're not on, putting guys on base, making mistakes, and it makes it hard to stay out there for 5 innings and give yourself a chance to win, but also keep guys off base and keep a lead.
Hampson, ground ball. Arenado goes to the plate and got him. The force play at the plate.
This is a heck of a play right here. Watching the replay on the big screen, and I'm looking at this as if this might be his only play other than to maybe just step on third.
Yeah.
And so if you're just going to step on third, you might as well go ahead and get this guy right here. I mean, he knows he can do it. I mean, that's just another tremendous play.
And the ball gets away, and a wild pitch. Run will score. Runners advance. 5-2.
This is a fastball right here that just, I thought it was a fastball, and just like he threw it straight in the ground. Yachty has no chance.
Not quite as sharp as we've seen him the last few times out, Carlos Martinez.
Well, he's battling though.
Yep. So 5-2 the score. Fouled back by Joe. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cardinal pitchers lead the National League. 19 wild pitches so far this year. Runners at second and third. They are among the league leaders in walks. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Back in 2019, the full minor league season, this right-handed batter of the Rockies popped 19 home runs. The 2-1 pitch. He represents the tying run, and it's 3-1. Dom Nunez on deck. No activity for the Cardinals in their pen. So we pitch number 90 coming up for Martinez. So with the 4 walks today, that's 138 issued by the Cardinals, most in baseball.
I mean, I think that obviously you don't want to be leading that category, but especially like you just said, I'm talking about this athletic team out there on the field. This infield is as good as it gets as a group.
3-2 pitch by Martinez. Way inside. 2 walks in the inning, 5 today. Second time that Connor Joe has walked.
I think you have to start thinking about maybe getting somebody up right now, only because
I'm surprised somebody wasn't up already.
Well, the thing that concerns me is the fastball that is out of whack. The fastball is bouncing in front of the plate. He's throwing the ball to one side when Yadi's on the other, vice versa, and it's just not coming out of his hand like it was earlier.
So Cody Whitley will start getting loose in a hurry here. Bases loaded. Dom Nunez has flied to center, also struck out swinging. While we have a moment, quick word from Great Southern Bank.
What's more convenient than over 100 helpful locations? How about one you can take with you? Wherever life's path leads you, we're just a tap away with Great Southern Mobile Banking.
Inning started with a base hit by Tapia. He came around to score. Then Trevor Story had a double. Ryan McMahon struck out, walked to Blackman. Hampson grounded to Arenado, forced play at the plate, walked to Connor Joes. They're all loaded up for Dom Nunez. He's driven in 15 this year, tied for third among all catchers. There's strike 1. He's got 5 home runs, 7th among those catchers, and has hit a grand slam back on the 1st of this month at Arizona.
I think the only thing you can do right here is when you go out there like Maddox was, you just have to start over, right? You go out there and say, okay, this is what's happening. Start over, strike 1. Get a ground ball right here. Do anything you can to get it out. Stop the bleeding now. But you can see what I'm talking about with the fastball. It's not
Absolutely.
it's not like he's just nibbling or missing or making bad pitches. He's missing big time. He's yanking some fastballs. And it's weird because normally he'll let the ball ride on the arm side.
Exactly.
And into the right-handed hitter. When you start pulling balls across the zone into the left-handed hitter, you know something's out of whack.
1-2 the count. Justin Lawrence, right-hander, throwing in the Rockies pen as the crowd comes alive here a bit with the bases loaded.
And the good news is he's got more pitches than the fastball, and sometimes you make a pitcher throw some breaking balls and gets their balance back to normal because they got to stay back a little bit longer to throw the breaking ball versus the fastball trying to let it fly.
1-2 in the dirt, 2-2.
I just find that fascinating when a guy can get out of whack with a fastball. And talking to Yachty too, breaking ball will make them stay back on that back leg a little bit longer because you have to stay in balance a little bit better. And it can kind of fix you pretty quick. You throw a couple of those and you're just like, oh, there it is.
2-2. Ripped into the gap into right center, and that ball is down. The game is going to be tied. 3 runs will score, and we are tied at 5. Bases clearing double off the bat of Dom Nunez, and it's 5-5.
Oh, you can see it coming. I mean, hate to say that, but you can see it coming. The momentum shift. Missing of the location.
And the go-ahead run now in scoring position. Fuentes singled off the glove of Tommy Edman into center back in the second, grounded out to third. Out in front, popped it up. Paul DeYoung makes the catch. Big inning for the Rockies. They've tied it up. It's 5-5. See the best hair in baseball and take a tour of One Cardinal Way, Cardinals Insider, tomorrow at noon on Bally Sports Midwest. I wonder if Harrison Bader will be a part of that. Best hair in baseball.
Best hair in baseball.
Yeah.
I mean, you would think that he would want to be a part of that.
T-Mobile coverage cam here at Busch Stadium. So that'll kick off our coverage of baseball tomorrow with the best hair in the game.
I can't even believe that was just a part of what we were talking about. The best hair in the game.
Here's Dylan Carlson on base twice, scored 2 runs, on base for a 3rd time. Not sure he even knew where that ball went.
This might be my favorite things to watch ever. Watch a guy put a ball in play. It happens a lot. We don't realize it so much. He had no idea where this ball went. This is not the perfect angle for it. You can see right there. Oops, just another hit. How do you not laugh at that, Dylan? What the heck?
So he's 2 for 2 and has been hit by a pitch, and now Paul Goldschmidt. Gonzalez still in this game, pitching into the 5th.
See that take right there? How calm and still that is. That's what I'm telling you. He's said he was turning it around, but it's apparent with the 2-2, 2 for 2. But I'd like to see one more, maybe a big one.
Here's a 1-0. 2 balls, no strikes.
Good time for a homer, huh?
Yep. Are you calling it?
I'd like to see it.
Well, everybody would like to see it. I want to know if you're calling it.
Okay, why not?
Okay.
It's 2-0. Just gave me a better chance at it.
If you think it's a home run, you call it. You actually call the play-by-play.
Is that what you do?
Yeah.
I usually like to be the one in control of when I'm calling a home run. So that means, like, when I know something's going on in the box, like when I'm hitting, it's a little easier.
Okay.
But I'll give it a shot.
All right. You take
over. I'm not Brad Thompson or anything, but I'll try.
That may have been the pitch.
How was that hanging change up? Whew.
So are you doing the play-by-play for this at bat or not?
Oh, I didn't know you wanted me to do the play-by-play. I was just calling the home run.
Well, you just tell me. If you want me to call it, I'll call it, or you can.
Well, like Landon said yesterday, Dan, you're all over Instagram because you've got such great calls on all of these highlights. So I don't want to mess that up. And he did say to me, Dad, I've heard you in there kind of getting in the way every now and then.
Did he say that?
On the way home last night.
Here's the 2-1. Goldschmidt with a home run. There it goes. Long one into left. 2-run homer. Goldie.
Who says it? Thank you very much, Paulie. Woo! That is exciting right there. That's not exciting because we were talking about it. That is exciting because of what we were talking about off the air, how far he's come in the last couple days. And I'm telling you right now, that is beautiful to watch.
The BJC difference maker Jim Edmonds said, "Here comes a home run."
Oh!
And Paul Goldschmidt said, "Thank you very much." And an absolute bomb.
Well, somebody had to hit one farther than Jack Flaherty.
That is a bomb.
That is something that you dream about as a hitter.
Third 3-hit game for Goldschmidt this year. Knocks out their starter. Paul Goldschmidt has made it a 7-5 St. Louis lead. Goodness. Who got the souvenir? Oh, he got it on the fly. Brought his glove. You probably bring the glove and don't think you're going to get one that deep. 431 feet, was back on the 28th today for 30. So he's got 2 of the 4 longest home runs hit by the Cardinals this year. Justin Lawrence is our Chevy called to the pen. So Lawrence is in. Chevy called to the pen. What a bomb. Man, oh man. Lawrence did not pitch in 2020. He was serving an 80-game suspension. Now it's Nolan Arenado. And that pitch taken for a ball. He was scored upon for the first time in his career. Second game Tuesday. Hasn't pitched all that much so far. And the 1-0. Arenado hits it down the left field line. Into the corner. And another double for Nolan Arenado. It's misplayed a bit by Tapia, but he'll stay at second base.
It's a good piece of hitting right there. I'll just go down and get the sinker. You know it's coming. Make sure it's up enough where you can get to it. Still having trouble thinking that that ball only went, but 15 feet further than Jack's.
430. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
I'm with you on that too.
I'm not sure that Jack's was 415, but I've always wondered about that. I know that they have like a seating chart and then kind of spots picked out, but every now and then I have to scratch my head at some of them.
That's hit into the corner. Back-to-back extra base hits following the Goldschmidt home run. DeYoung changing spots with Nolan Arenado. It's 8-5. DeYoung on base all 3 times. Drives in his second today.
These guys are raking at home, I'll tell you what. Some home cooking. Another sinker. Just like I said, as a hitter, you just have to visualize exactly what you think is going to happen. When you get a pitch, you take advantage of it.
Still nobody out. Here's Yadier Molina. He's driven in 3 today. Cardinals now with 10 hits. Oh, hanging breaking ball, and it's fouled back.
I don't like the way that finish was right there. I don't think that was as much a hanging breaking ball that he pulled off of as much. Maybe he got a little twinge.
So the runner at second is Paul DeJong. The 0-1. I think you may have picked up on something there, Jimmy, after that first swing.
Well, you just, like I said, can't replicate game speed in practice. And you can think you're ready. And I'm not saying he's not. But every now and then you're going to get a little bit of a bite when it comes to going 100%.
The 0-2. Outside, 1-2. The next two, Yadier Molina. Fastball and struck him out.
Left fielder.
There's Tyler O'Neill, grounded into a 6-4-3 double play. Also struck out as that ball gets away, but DeJong staying put at the bag at second.
It was 98. It was just way too much movement to be 98. How do you hit it when the catcher can't catch it?
Yeah. DeJong is running. Throw down to third and a stolen base, his second of the day.
It's a great job by Tyler O'Neill right there.
Knew he had the jump.
He had a great jump. And you have a strike to give. Look at this jump right here. Go ahead. And you got to hold up. You have to. And you know what? As a hitter, you want to, right?
Well, think about what it does now. It opens up the hitting lanes. The infield is in.
An easy RBI. I'll take this RBI opportunity any day of the week. I would even might want to take that against a guy that you know you can hit, even if you give it another strike away. But then you got to capitalize on it.
2-1 the count. Last time DeJong had a couple of steals in a game was against the Rockies back in 2019. 2-1 pitch. O'Neill with a fly ball into center. Hampson with the catch. DeJong tagging up, and he will score.
That's exactly what I'm talking about right there. Nothing special. Short swing, hit the ball in the barrel, just get it out of the infield. Basically just got himself a free RBI right there. Thank you very much, Mr. DeJong.
You have to love the answer by the Cardinals after this game was tied with 4 runs in the top of the inning. Cardinals come back with 4 of their own, and it's back to a 4-run lead. Mike Schilt went right to Tyler O'Neill to give him a high five, and I'm sure it was more about taking the pitch than it was driving him in.
Well, and you know what else you got to
just a good at bat.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say both, because you'd like to see him hit that ball middle away, because the art of driving in runs is not just being a clutch hitter. It's timely hitting, timely contact, effort, you know, stuff that Yachty does, right? Hit the ball the other way, hit the ball in the air when the infield is in, hit the ball on the ground when the infield is back. You learn all these things in spring training, but they're so hard to do all the time. But when you make the effort, it works. It's great.
I think this is an interesting at bat for Bader. This is the kind of guy that he would struggle with.
Yeah, this is the tough matchup right here. This is what I'd like to see. You know what? This is what we talk about. Swing at strikes. If you make a nasty pitch, then tip your hat.
And it's that pitch right there.
Well, and that's perfectly fine, because the other way, it's 98 coming at you. So you're going to have to give one side or the other.
Got to wonder about Yadier Molina. Hopefully he's all right. 1-2 pitch. in the dirt, and it's 2-2.
Now, if I'm Bader, you have to strike me out with that slider. And you can throw it down the middle. I don't care. I'm not swinging at it unless it's a fastball.
The 2-2. Bader on a hop. Oh, what a play there by Trevor Story to get a glove on it, and it winds up being a base hit for Harrison Bader. He almost came up with a dandy.
I don't even know what to say. If he catches that ball almost stuck in his palm, and that would have been unbelievable. Great job by Bader right there. Stay with the game plan. Stayed with it. The glove's almost off of his hand right there. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Some defense being thrown around out there on this field today.
So that'll be it for Martinez. Williams pinch hitting here in inning number 5. Cardinals sent back Ali Sanchez to the minor leagues when they activated Yadier Molina. So on the bench, Carpenter, Williams, left side Kisner, backup catcher Thomas, and Sosa. Shift on the right side of the infield.
This is one of those guys that you don't want to be playing first base when he's thrown over to the plate.
Well, Cody Whitley is nice and hot and ready. Nearly came in last inning, at least the top half. And the first pitch to Justin Williams. Fouled back.
Pretty big shift right there for a guy throwing 98-mile-an-hour sinkers.
And Williams, if he lets the ball travel, takes it the other way, and we've seen that. See the movement on that pitch?
It was like that wiffle ball game
Yeah.
we were playing in the backyard last week.
Wow.
It's like Williams has made a little bit of an adjustment in his stance. He might not be as open as he was before.
Good pickup. I think you're right. 2 balls and 1 strike. He has a tendency to pull off, and maybe by design you close up a little bit, try to stay in.
You just have to try and figure out ways of keeping your shoulders in there. It's not always just the feet. It's the upper body too, and got to keep your body over the plate a little bit. A lot of guys on this team with open stances.
Nunez, by the way, 0 for 13 throwing out base stealers this year, 1 for 22 in his career. Bader the runner at first, and Williams sends a fly ball out to center. Garrett Hampson with the catch. Big inning for the Cardinals, and they're back on top. The ballpark, Yadi has driven in 3. Cardinals had a 5-1 lead, then it was tied. Jim Edmonds called that home run. Arenado, DeYoung went back-to-back with doubles. And after being tied 5-5, the Cardinals answered with 4. 9-5 in favor of St. Louis. Carlos Martinez out of the game, 5 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned. Did walk 5. Goldie 3 for 3, and Yadi is 1 for 3 and still in this ball game.
Tell you what, Carlos stayed out there just long enough. He might be able to get the win out of this with that offensive explosion right there. Thank you very much. Little presence in all the position players' locker after today, after getting the win. If you get the win for that one,
this is
a little dinner, a little champagne gifts, little something. I don't know. What do you?
A little bit of everything.
Something.
Jonathan Daza is the pinch hitter. Good fastball there by Whitley. He's basically straight over the top, which makes that changeup so effective.
It's kind of the Michael Wacha effect right there. It's the thing about the changeup is it's only as good as its kind of perception, right? So that the angle of the arm is the same. It's tough to read.
A strikeout to start the afternoon for Whitley.
And you're basically just changing up the fastball. It's as simple as it said, and you don't want it to be too obvious and you don't want it to be too different. You just want it to just not get there at the same time. Sounds pretty silly, but that is it.
Top of the lineup, Tapia, fourth plate appearance for him. Right-handers are just 2 for 16 against Cody Whitley. The lefties 1 for 8. Tapia walked and scored in the first. Grounded out to first and singled off the glove of Nolan Arenado. Came around to score, part of a 4-run 5th inning for Colorado. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Do you remember Eric Hansen?
Absolutely.
He was in Seattle. I think he might have been in Toronto.
Left-handed batter, right?
No, I'm talking about the pitcher.
Oh, okay.
In the AL back in the late 90s. It was a guy that no matter what, I could not figure out his changeup. I couldn't see it. It was like almost like Ryan Madsen. We were talking about him the other day. Just one of those guys that you can't pick up. Everyone's got that guy, and it's just amazing to watch because from the side you can kind of see a little different angle, a little different movement on the ball, but straight on when they come over the top like that, like you see with Whitley, it's almost mind-blowing. That's when you start to figure out, how do I find this before he throws it? How do I cheat a little bit in the glove and all the different little things you can do?
But
you can't hit it. You got to figure out a way to combat it.
But that's what you did. You would figure out maybe how a guy, some guys will, like, watch Whitley come set. Does he come set still at the letters of St. Louis in the front, or is it a little bit lower, or is he doing something there, getting a grip? Something.
Something's there. You just have to pay attention long enough. Thank you, Eduardo Perez, for giving me an extended career.
So 2 down. Cardinals Kids Club presented by Rawlings, exclusive fan club for kids 13 and under. They're excited about it. Membership includes fleece, blanket, wall sign, virtual events, all for just $33. Join us at cardinals.com/kids club. Young lady got a souvenir and is fired up.
Heck yes. I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, that's all I wanted, to go to a game early and catch a foul ball. Now I realize that's overrated because it's going to hurt. Now I'm getting out of the way, even up here.
So wait for it to hit, then stop rolling, go pick it up.
Dive underneath the seat for it. Let it hit something first.
You remember your first major league game you went to? Did you go to Angels games?
Yes. I don't remember the first one I went to, but I remember going a lot as I got a little bit kind of like Landon's age, 14, 15, 16. You get to the age where you can kind of be trusted enough to be dropped off for 7 or 8 innings and then meet your dad out by the parking lot. It was, and we would go early to catch. They would let us in the park earlier so you could go out there and catch home runs.
Here's the 0-2.
Tell you what, a funny story. I'd never ever caught a foul ball or a home run in my entire life as a kid. And my son is around it all of the time. So we went to a World Series game and we got there for batting practice, and we didn't get 10 feet inside the stadium, and the ball hit the seat right next to us, and he reached over and picked it up. And you saw the ball in Philly or Washington, wherever we were, and he's a magnet for it. It's hilarious.
And then he's glued to it. Now his dad obviously played the sport, so you're going to be around it. But
isn't that bizarre? Like,
yes,
I'm like, we walk in right at the short porch in left field in Houston, and I'm watching because I'm like, we're within striking distance already. And the first ball that I say, heads up, and this thing is coming right at us, and I kind of push him to the side. It hits the seat right in front of us. He reached down and grabs it. World Series baseball right there in his hands.
9-5 our score in a chilly, breezy day here at the ballpark with Jim Edmonds, Jim Hayes. I'm Dan McLaughlin. What's on tap presented by Budweiser. Herman Marquez tomorrow for the Rockies. Adam Wainwright for the Cardinals. And again, we'll come your way at 12:30 on Bally Sports Midwest with the pregame show. Well, they're ready.
Oh, heck yeah. That's what it's all about right there.
They are ready. I like it now when we see the social media of the outfielders go out, they play a little catch, and then play catch sometimes with a fan in the stands.
That's awesome.
I love it.
I'm trying to think who started that. Might have been like someone like Bryce or someone like that, or I don't really didn't. You know what? When I first came up, they told us not to do that because I think someone.
Well, you don't want to hurt somebody.
Yeah, but I think someone got sued. One of the organizations.
Exactly.
Rod Curry used to say, "Do not throw the ball in the stands, no matter what." And we used to get fined for doing it. So I was always, and I never really even did it throughout my career. I would lob some balls here and there, hand them out, but I would never throw the ball. And as bad as I wanted to in center field with all of those awesome fans that used to stand up until the game started out there, I just was like, that was just stuck in my head, is just don't throw the ball in the stands.
3-0 on Tommy Edman.
People fall into the aisles, fall over the fences.
That's right.
I've seen it all.
With the recent news of Albert Pujols, so many different videos have been circulating with Albert, and there's a walk. One of the great videos was that a parent was there with a Down syndrome child, and Albert came over.
That is his baby too,
of course, and he came over and took off his jersey, signed the jersey right after the game, then picked up the young child, took a picture, and I mean, the kid is just so elated, and it's just awesome. And people have asked me, like, what's your favorite moment of Albert? I think about the days that he had the buddy walk here.
Oh, yeah.
He would always hit a home run or do something special. Those are some of the moments that come to mind. Here's Dylan Carlson inside. He's already been hit by a pitch.
Tell you what he has done with that foundation has blown me away, watching from a close distance, with being a part of it, helping out. I've actually done some things for him when he couldn't be there, and I'm not talking about the golf tournaments and stuff. I mean, they have an amazing like a high school, like a prom. Oh my gosh, and going to that, these kids are so much fun to be around, and it's just how they come up with these ideas and to celebrate these young people. It is phenomenal. And like I said, I don't think you ever can give enough credit to some of these guys around the league, the Wainwrights, and just, I mean, I remember Helton had something, and just bring these two teams together. But Matt Holliday's deal, just you can't imagine how busy, how much time, how tired, how sometimes frustrated you are to be able to still go out there and give time and effort. Is incredible to watch.
But then again, you cannot forget, with all those things, the platform that you have, and you can make a difference. I'm not a collector. Doesn't do much for me. But one of the things I do have is a personalized signed jersey from Albert to me. And it was just when he was getting his foundation started. Edman, your runner at first base, not running. And I was working for, at that time, not only doing the Cardinal games, but it was called Fox Sports Net across America. And they would give me assignments, or I'd say, hey, here's an idea. And one of the ideas I had, I said, this guy Pujols is something else, and he's becoming a superstar, and he's starting this foundation. And I'd love to do a piece on it. And this is before it really
blew up,
gained traction. And met with Todd Perry, who obviously runs the foundation, still does. But I gave Didi a home video camera. They were going down to the Dominican. I said, just take the video through your eyes of going down there and helping these impoverished children. I said, I want to see it through your eyes. And so the camera, Jimmy, and hopefully I'm doing a good job describing this, but they're in a car before they got to the various spots with dentists and doctors to help the kids. But there were kids on the street with no clothes, you know, maybe just in their underwear.
I've seen those videos.
And the film is very shaky because it's taken from their viewpoint of what they were seeing and where they were going. And so we did the piece. I flew down to Miami to finish up the piece. It was during spring training, and the piece was not only about what they were doing in the Dominican, but also with Down syndrome, which is what the foundation supports. And it exploded because it was on all the different outlets of Fox Sports at that time. Midwest, Southwest, East, you name it. It was everywhere. And so his foundation just exploded. And a lot of it was the video that gave people an understanding of what he was doing. And so he was getting reached out by doctors, dentists, folks that had kids with Down syndrome, of how we can help, how do we donate. And so he has, and I'm not going to say what the message is on the jersey. It's very special to me. It means a lot to me of what I hopefully did for him. And he's done all the work, don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take any credit, but it's one of the things that I have that I'm very proud of.
And that's funny that you say that too, because one of the coolest things that I've seen working with that foundation over the years has been those videos. And so maybe you were the founder of that.
That was the first one
situation, but now they go down there and they've flown some big private planes down there with the money that they've raised and taken care of, with so many doctors and dentists and people to help out and building stuff. And it's just, I mean, when they come home and they put these videos together, you're just like, oh my gosh, that is a lot of things going on, a lot of moving parts, a lot of people volunteering. And it's just like, how do they do it with that much time on their hands, as far as him being one of the best players of all time? And they just keep going and going. And Todd Perry, I know you're probably listening. You do one heck of a job, and you still do. And by the way, the very first person to reach out to me the other day when Albert got released, before it was said, I think Albert called him right away, but I was in shock.
I think a lot of people were in baseball.
I didn't even know who to say. I was like, is he serious?
2-1, hit a mile high on the infield off the bat of Goldschmidt, and the catch is made by Josh Fuentes. Double play and a pop up. 7th inning rolls in. This copyrighted telecast presented by the authority of the Cardinals and not to be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the St. Louis Cardinals. 9-5 our score. And it's Giovanni Gallegos in our Chevy call to the pen. Couple of days of rest for Giovanni. And he'll get 3, 4, and 5 in the lineup. McMahon, Blackman, and Hampson. Chilly day here at the ballpark. You got to bundle up.
Well, there's no better way to stay warm than with a child and a blanket on your lap.
That's how you stay warm too.
Yeah, I don't know about that thing on the left right there. I'd probably need a hot chocolate right about now.
Yeah.
Or coffee with something in it, but no cold drinks, please.
Coffee with something in it.
I'm telling you, I'm freezing up here. And we're up here protected. I don't know about being down there with a cold one in my hand.
At least you're honest, Jimmy.
Oh, what the heck. If you're going to enjoy the game, enjoy the game.
And that is hit down the left field line by McMahon and out of play.
And do not drink warm beer. That is not the way to go.
If you saw this yesterday, but the Atlanta Braves are now at 100% capacity. They had a full house. I was watching their game, and it was like,
I just don't understand it.
It was just, it just caught your attention.
Amazing. Yeah.
All the fans that were in the ballpark.
That's so awesome to watch. You know, I was just in Nashville last weekend, and they are officially, I think, going away from the mask, I think, starting on the 14th now. And the city obviously is fired up. I feel like it's so cool to see people rally around each other now, and I love it. It's kind of cool to be a part of.
2 balls, 1 strike. Just catches your attention. All the fans, you've gotten kind of used to seeing the cardboard cutouts or empty ballparks or arenas.
That cardboard cutout thing used to take me by surprise too. I was like, do they let people in? Come get that.
Center, got it. Nice play, Harrison Bader.
It's a nice play right here, but this is a typical ball that you can come in and get. Look at that ball knuckling too. And they teach you when that ball doesn't get higher than your head, you just come hard as you can, and he did a nice job right there.
Yeah, explain that. What do you mean by that?
Well, he really I like the Superman too at the end, but when that ball's hit that hard and low, and you can tell that it's just not above your head, so it's not going to go over your head no matter how hard it's hit. So you just come hard. And if it sinks, you kind of slow up. And
Edman, no chance.
No, that's
infield hit. Charlie Blackmon. Edman was playing back in the shift.
That's happened twice today, and I thought that, or in the last 2 days, and I think sometimes that shift is a little crazy because as much as they do hit the ball hard, they do make good pitches and top some pitches. And I think the play yesterday with Matt Adams, he almost had to make this exact same play, and with Charlie running, clearly it's a tougher play, and if he doesn't just flip that with his glove, he's got no chance, and it's too far to flip with the glove. So the good and bad parts of the shift, again, we're starting to see maybe another angle of it, not just the base hits going the other way. Now it's you know, hitting some dribblers to the guys that they can't recover quick enough.
Garrett Hampson, he's now at second base, bunts it. Arenado lets it bounce and gets a lead man. Not sure he could have gotten that on the fly.
No, and that might have been a little bit of aggressive of a bunt to third base, but nice play right there by Nolan to throw to second base. Think he's not paying attention. I like that. I wish we could rewind that again here in a second, but the thing that you see that you don't really understand is watch when he starts running and then you hear the noise. So he's watching what's going on. This is probably not a good bunting situation, but he's aware of what's going on.
Fifth place hitter.
But he's 4 or 5 steps into the sprint when the ball makes the noise. And that's just what defense is all about. Anticipation,
yep.
Paying attention, and want to be good. It's a lot of fun to watch when it's working.
He is so much fun to watch, isn't he?
Oh, man. Just waiting for DeYoung to do something because everyone else is flying around the infield today.
It's a misplay by O'Neill. And with that, Hampson, with his good speed, winds up at third.
Good piece of hitting right there and a good sinker, and Tyler just misses this ball. That's that. You can almost see that's the bounce before bounced a little right, and the bounce after that bounced a little left, and it's the kind of ball. There's everyone's in front of you. You almost just go down to a knee at times, right? And when you know this has happened before to a couple of guys out there, that ball's going to snake back and forth. And you almost have to just go down and think that that's going to happen and protect it like an infielder.
So 2 outs and 2 on, and here's Dom Nunez. It was an error on O'Neill with Hampson taking third base. Shift on the right side. Nunez at the bases clearing double with 2 outs back in the 5th. Good pitch. 0-2.
We were talking about Gio's slider the other night, and then I was at home watching this weekend. I think with Brad was doing the game, right? And he threw that slider down and into a lefty. He just has this slider that no one else has. And it's down. It's not across.
Did you call it a hard curveball, or
no,
what would you say?
He just gets over the top of the slider a little bit more than most people, and it just goes down.
But it's like 12-6.
It is, but it's short, and that's the thing. A curveball
doesn't have a hump.
Yes, the curveball will hop out of the hand and have a nice hump in it, and you, as a hitter, you see the breaking ball jump up out of the hand, and so it gives you that split second of, okay, I see it, but still hard to hit. This thing doesn't jump out of the hand. It just kind of goes like a fastball and then straight down, and you don't pick it up until it's too late. But it's amazing that it does go down. It doesn't go across.
2-2.
It's like you could probably throw that pitch 5 times in a row to a lefty, middle in, and the only thing I think that you would hope to do, and this is coming from a left-handed hitter, is to pull it foul, or you're going to swing and miss that at all, or take it
over the top.
Sorry. You're going to pull it foul, or you're going to take it. And which one is it going to be? Is it going to be the one that bounces at your feet, or is it going to be the one that stays through the zone for an extra split second for strike 3?
2-2 pitch.
There it is.
Softly hit. DeYoung to his left. Rockies strand a pair. They've left 8 on. Time to stretch here in game 2. It's 9-5. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Bally Sports Midwest is brought to you by BJC Healthcare, the world's best medicine made better. And by Budweiser, this Bud's for you. On to home run inning. $1,000 donation made to the Make-A-Wish Foundation by your Gateway Honda dealers if the Cardinals hit a home run. Arenado, DeYoung, and Yadier Molina for the Cardinals coming up. Tyler Kenley is the new pitcher. Chevy called to the pen, a right-hander for the Rockies. Did not allow a base runner last weekend. First time this season. He had 8 straight games with at least 1 walk issued. Longest streak of his career. First pitch on the ground. A lot of English on it. Arenado 1 pitch and 1 away. Kenny Reitz. Bobblehead night is coming up. That is a Budweiser Bash theme ticket. You get a Ken Reitz bobblehead. Portion will go to the Ken Reitz Foundation. Cardinals.com/BudBash.
Give a shout out, Danny, to one of my favorite companies in St. Louis, Arch Apparel. They just opened a store right across the street.
Ballpark Village.
Over there in Ballpark Village.
That's
Congratulations,
right.
everybody. Guys.
They had a big ribbon.
Them. Yes, they did. With
ribbon
Mr.
cutting
DeWitt.
ceremony. Yeah.
Proud of them. They work hard and they have some really nice stuff. If you haven't seen it, check it out. You are in the know. I mean you, Danny. Other than the Bruce Bolt thing, maybe the 44 gloves.
I had no idea.
It's all right. Just trying to help out like you helped me.
I should have picked that up. You said it yesterday too. If you haven't been to downtown, and we assume that a lot of people probably haven't. I've heard from so many people that said it's great to be back at a ball game, and they come downtown and they're like, it's a different place. With all the construction that took place a year ago. Ballpark Village. Also our friends with St. Louis City. If you get a chance, walk around, drive around, you'll see a new stadium going up. The MLS team.
Well, we did a couple of games from the new studio, and when Scott Rowland was here for opening day, I said, where did you stay? And he said, at the new hotel in Ballpark Village. I said, where's that?
Over at the Lowe's?
Yeah, it was right attached to our office. And so it has changed so much. I'm still amazed at this apartment / housing complex, whatever you want to call it. It is beautiful to look at from home plate looking forward, and it is right next to the arch, which is even more amazing.
So over at the MLS stadium, they've at least put in the concrete, and then the seating will go in, and they're going to start working on the canopy. Really cool looking. Can't wait.
Well, I know you were a big part of that, helping that whole thing come to fruition, and I was actually kind of proud of you, my friend, because it's not like you're busy or anything, but I mean,
worthy endeavor.
Being facetious, you work more than anyone I've ever met, and you were all in on that MLS team.
Hit down the right field line and out of play.
And by the way, why not? What a better group of people than a homegrown company like that, the Enterprise and the Taylor family.
That's right.
To be around and a part of, and I'm lucky enough to spend some time with them and to do some charity work for them too. And it's just unbelievable that they have done what they have done and still privately owned.
What they've done for the city is
on top
incredible.
of that.
Yeah, to me, it was so much more than just soccer. But you're creating jobs. That place will be packed. It's an experience to go to a game. Commerce to downtown. Progress downtown. That's Tom Strunk, who's also a part of it. Worldwide Technology. Jim Cavanaugh, Carolyn Kendall Betts, Enterprise. Incredible job that they have done. And people will love it because we get back to normal. We're not that far away. You're going to have in springtime a weekend series with the Cardinals that could be in downtown where you got a hockey game against the Blackhawks. Cubs are in town, and then the MLS team is playing in the afternoon or night. I mean, imagine the people that come to the city because of that.
Do you remember when the football, that one football team was here, when people were so excited to be able to go to two things at once, and there was either football or hockey or baseball, or you would get maybe baseball or football on the same day, and what the electricity was like down here.
Great.
Now you're saying you might have a chance to do 3 in one day, or not 3 in one day, but the amount of people down here.
Yeah, you could have 3 in one day.
I'm saying you could. I don't know if you could go to 3, but
you got to be
worth a try.
Oh, I think people will try. You can go just walk from here, Market Street, Enterprise, MLS, make a day of it, have some fun. 0-2 the count on Tyler O'Neill. Tapped foul. O'Neill today is struck out, grounded into a double play, and a sac fly RBI in the 5th.
Tell you what, he's gotten a little out of whack. He did such a nice job. His adjustment that he made over this winter to come into spring training and early on in this year, hitting the ball up the middle, hitting the ball the other way. You can even see the outfield is swung way over into right center field. Last year they'd be playing him to pull, and there you go. That's what I'm talking about. I was just saying how he's kind of gotten away from that. You can see the swing getting a little quicker and quicker and quicker, and then there you go, Tyler. And that's what he needed right there. Coming a tough couple of days, and that'll make you go home and feel a little bit better about yourself.
You bet.
Watch the swing right here. This is what he worked so hard on right there. Good balance.
So Paul DeYoung at second base. He's been on base 4 times for the 8th time in his career. O'Neill is first hit. Runners at first and second. It's 9-5 in favor of the Cardinals. And here is Harrison Bader. Lined out, popped out, and a base hit.
Okay, rewind. Watch his at bat. I'm going to show you something. This is interesting. Watch him right now. Watch Harrison Bader right now in his pre-pitch routine. Tell me if it's not different already. This is how quickly you can get out of whack. Watch the movement. See the bat swing a little bit more. Watch the hips. See, everything's starting to move a little bit more, right? And now what are you seeing? A little jumpy. Isn't it amazing how quickly that you just start getting uncomfortable and then you go back to either old ways or just look for something different? He was so calm and still the last couple days. And I'm not even talking, this isn't even exaggerated. I'm just noticing right now something looks different. It's a little bit better right there. Isn't it shocking though when you watch how simple this game can be?
He's been really quiet for the most part at the plate.
But right when I said that to you, the pitch before that, I was like, what is he doing? And you can kind of see like now, oh yeah, slow down. You know, it's like you got to remind yourself sometimes, and that's what makes this game so hard and so amazing at the same time, because the slower you can make the game, the better off you are. And to be a hitter, if you don't slow the game down, you're never going to see the pitches that you need to see to be successful. And as soon as you start getting jumpy, you're in trouble.
So 2 on and 2 outs and a 2-2 count to Bader. Bader pulls it, backhanded, long throw. What a play. Terrific play.
Can we see any better defense than we've seen the last couple days?
Pretty good.
Wow.
That's McMahon down there at third. Well, the Cardinals saw the ball game tied up in the 5th. They went to the bottom half of that inning. Yeah, my partner said, here comes a home run. And sure enough, there it went.
Well,
I wonder if he got it. I'm not sure.
So nonchalant, too. We made no noise in the booth.
No, not at all. Just let it play out. StatCast powered by Google Cloud.
What do you mean that would have been out of all 30 parks? Come on.
Barely got out of this one. It was on the concourse.
Like I said, as a player, that is a ball that you dream about hitting, and it doesn't happen all that often.
Here is Alan Trejo against Giovanni Gallegos. 8th inning, and the first pitch taken for a ball. Watching today on Bally Sports Midwest, it's Nate and Olga Eisenbeis, and they're celebrating an anniversary. They never miss a game. Also Dan Collins. They want to say hello to you, Jimmy. Nice note here.
Well, hi, Dan
celebrating
Collins.
Their anniversary. That's Nate and Olga Eisenbeis. Happy anniversary. Here's a 1-1. Pulled and fair. Off the sidewall, and they'll hold him to a single.
Yeah, he was going to be out if he was going to second base. Ball's ripped. That's what you want when you're the left fielder too. You don't want that ball to roll down there and hit that wall when you've already ran into the corner. You want that thing to bounce off hard before you've made too much of a move into that corner, and you got a chance to throw him out at second base.
And a ball outside to Daza.
I think it's the only time you want the ball to be hit hard off your pitcher. If that makes any sense. Other than that, it makes you look like the bad guy.
Gives you an opportunity to hold them. 4-run lead here in the top of the 8th. Cardinals have out hit the Rockies 12-9. Rockies have stranded 8 in the game. Pick off and safe at first.
Wow, that was quick. Tell you what, did you see that last little hop? Man, that was close.
Yes.
He caught him up in the air a little bit. Get a little lazy because it's a 4-run game. Yachty will take advantage of you.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. This guy has been some kind of reliever, hasn't he? Doesn't get the fanfare of others, but man, has he been good.
You are not kidding. Just got such good stuff. Control, downhill, that slider we were talking about. Got jump on his fastball.
Here's a 1-2. Jonathan Daza. Ground ball slowly hit. DeYoung will go across the diamond and gets the out. Nothing like seeing Ryan Kelly. Let's hear from him right now, the home loan expert.
Baseball's back, and we couldn't be more excited. Mortgage interest rates are on the rise, but we're still locking rates in the 2s. Start saving now and apply online. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
Thank you, Ryan Kelly. Here's Tapia, top of the lineup. 364 his average with runners in scoring position. Trejo, your runner at second base. Colorado just 1 for 10 with runners in scoring position this afternoon. Shift on the right side. He's been on base twice with a walk and a single. Couple of runs scored. A little bit low. Another 10 strikeout game for Max Scherzer. And it took him a total of 4 innings to get there. Now the 5th player in Major League history, 100 career, 10+ strikeout games. What a career.
I would love to know how many 9 strikeout games he has, because the other day when he was cruising, he was 1 strikeout short. And you could see he wanted it so bad.
Be fascinating to see if they're still in the race, trade deadline, what they do. Free agent to be Max Scherzer. Currently they are 2.5 back, 13 and 15. In what many believe will be maybe the most competitive division in the National League, maybe in baseball, with the Phillies, Mets, Miami, Atlanta, Washington. I could make a case for any of those teams to get hot, win a division.
It's pretty good talent.
You bet. Since being acquired by the Cardinals in 2018, Gallegos the lowest whip of any relief pitcher in baseball. That's walks, hits combined in innings pitched. He's also got the second opponent batting average lowest, only behind Josh Hader. That's how good he's been. And he doesn't get, he just doesn't get the fanfare. Jim Hayes has his fan club wooing. Leader of that fan club. And the 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
Think he's down there wooing right now? I think he's somewhere down there.
No doubt. Among the people. The 2-2 pitch by Giovanni Gallegos, and instead time is called. You would occasionally hear the woo in years past, but now it's become, seems like a nightly or daily event. And I know that puts a smile on your face.
Not really sure why, though. I know where it came from, not really sure why it's still going.
I'm assuming you believe it came from the great Ric Flair.
Yes. I just start thinking about when my dad would be sitting up in a game watching me play, and if someone near him would start doing that in his ear, I think he would be like, "We might want to have to stop that."
Sir, we're going to have to stop that.
Sir, I'm trying to watch my son. Can you please stop yelling or wooing in my ear, please, before I have to escort you to another seat?
2-2. Taken down, and pitch count, keep an eye on that. Approaching 30 this afternoon. Alex Reyes is getting loose. Jim Hayes actually interviewed one time the great Ric Flair on a pregame show. He was here at the ballpark being celebrated.
I'll tell you what, when I was a kid, there was nothing more exciting than watching those guys do their gig on either the wrestling shows or even just the interviews.
It's hit into right, and trouble. That ball will get down and a run will score. All the way to the wall. Toppy on his way to second. And you wonder if Gallegos might be out of gas here.
Tell you what, this Tep is a good player. When I first saw him a couple times, I thought, man, all right, kind of little, quick. Turned himself into a nice little hitter.
Mike Schill will go with the double switch here. Lane Thomas coming in. He'll replace Tyler O'Neill in left. And Cardinals going to ask Alex Reyes to get the final 5 outs. Trevor Story, heart of the lineup, coming up. Ever wondered what it might be like to take in a game from the owner's suite? Now you can. The Redbird Roost is available for a limited number of games this season. Located directly behind home plate, luxury suite features food, drinks, best view in the ballpark. Cardinals.com/roost. So the double switch with Lane Thomas in left field. Alex Reyes into pitch. Thomas goes into the 9 position in the lineup. He'll be due up first for the Cardinals in the home half of the 8th. There's Trevor Story with a runner at second. So far, the opposition 6 for 51 against Alex Reyes.
Tell you what, I mean, we speak highly of him and we talk a lot about him, but quietly doing some nice work himself.
Oh, he's been terrific. Now, you'd love to see the walks cut down. Was a little Louis T out there. Johnny Cueto. The 2-0 pitch, and it's 2-1. The 2-1 pitch. Well, this is the time you don't want to see those walks. Don't want to see them anytime, but especially now. 3-run lead. Story today has doubled. That was in the 5th. He has struck out twice, flied out to right. McMahon on deck. 3-1 inside, and now the tying run comes to the plate. 6 walks issued by the Cardinals in this game.
Ever since those woos started.
Blame the woo.
Ever since Ric Flair walked in the building.
Reyes with 3 saves in May, trailing only Ian Kennedy, who's got 4 for Texas. Here's McMahon, 1 out, 2 on. Fastball and a strike. 97. He has walked at least 1 in 9 of his 16 appearances this year.
That's what worries me right here. If you look at the defense, is keep an eye on that shortstop area. If he keeps throwing 97 down and away, makes me a little nervous.
A 1 pitch, ground ball taken there by Goldschmidt, playing near the line, and runners advance to second and third. Now Charlie Blackmon, 2 home runs this year. He was robbed by Tommy Edman back in the first. Singled to left, walked and scored. Has an infield hit. 9-6 our score. First pitch swinging, popped up. Molina giving it a look near the screen and out of play. Was this date 1966. Final game played at Sportsman's Park. Cardinals lost against the Giants, but after the game, future Hall of Famer Orlando Cepeda traded to St. Louis for Ray Sadecki. Pretty important date.
Orlando Cepeda was Rod Carew's roommate. It's pretty awesome. Used to come around every now and then.
We'd see him when the Cardinals would be in San Francisco. He'd pop on the booth with us, or in the booth and on the air.
So neat just to be able to be around those older players, and just like Eduardo's dad and Tony Perez, and the talks that they used to have about how the game was supposed to be played is insane. They talked about how so-and-so is pitching, you better get one hit and a walk. And
into center and a base hit. A run is in. And it's wide of Goldschmidt, but luckily Blackmon stays at the bag at first and keeps him out of scoring position. His 2-run score, and now we have a 1-run game. 3-hit day for Charlie Blackmon.
I'll tell you what, I'm not pitching to him tomorrow, because he's getting hotter and hotter and hotter.
Two outs, runner at first, tying run at first base. Go ahead run at the plate. Garrett Hampson. Strike one. Cardinals will have Lane Thomas, Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson in the bottom of this inning. It snaps Reyes' scoreless streak to begin the year at 15 2/3. As that walk came around to score.
Funny how that happens, huh?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Blackmon to second base, and the tying run now in scoring position. A game that has just felt like the Cardinals have dominated. There's a base hit away from being tied again.
That was this weird looking play, and the whole thing looked bizarre. See even the way Goldie reacted to that.
And Hampson, a .286 hitter with runners in scoring position. Good speed. Blackmon at second base. 9-8 our score. The first pitch was a strike, and here comes the 0-1 from Alex Reyes. Just off the plate.
Good pitch.
The 1-1.
Oh, that's the third or fourth time today off his face mask.
I think that got him square right center off the face mask. Let's take a look. Sure did.
We had 2 of them in the first 2 innings.
So 1-2 the count. The next by Reyes. Lined and caught it short. It's a 1-run game. Cardinals have out-hit the Rockies 12-11, and they lead by a run 9-8. Michael Givens now into the ball game for Colorado. In-game box score, the Budweiser in-game box score. Well, the regulars getting in on all the action here today. Everybody.
See that right there. 12 hits so far today.
Givens was traded by the Baltimore Orioles to Colorado for Tyler Nevin. Another player, and a player to be named later. Lane Thomas back in the big leagues in his first action since he was sent down. And a pitch in, 2 balls and no strikes.
Interesting little delivery right there, a little slingshot at the end.
Three and one. And a leadoff walk. We get some speed here with Lane Thomas now aboard. 4th walk the Cardinals have received today. And it brings in Tommy Edman. He picked up one of those walks. Also a base hit. 1 for 3 on base twice. Cardinals have found a way to answer in every inning that the Rockies have scored. Rockies led 1-0 after a half inning. Cardinals then got 3 in the bottom of the first. St. Louis 2 in the 3rd inning. Rockies got 4 in the 5th. Cardinals answered with 4. Rockies with 3 in the top half of this inning. St. Louis with a 1-run lead. And a strike to Tommy Edman.
About ready for some more runs here, huh?
Yes, sir. Rockies will have Joe, Nunez, and the pitcher spot coming up. That might be Matt Adams' time. Hits softly to first, and the only play to the bag with Edman sliding in, hustling all the way.
Did you hear people yelling? If someone doesn't yell right there, he might be in trouble. Tommy was flying.
There's Dylan Carlson on base 3 times, 2 hits, hit by pitch. He scored 3 runs. Thomas the runner at second. That's a key run out there. Cardinals are 4 for 11 with runners in scoring position, 6 for 17 in the series.
Yeah, this is a big run, like you said. This could either give the Rockies a little inspiration, or he could take the wind right out of their sails.
Room into left center. Outside 2-1. Goldschmidt is on deck. He's driven in 3 today. 2-run blast back in the 5th. Three and 1. Dylan's about due.
That would be fun. I'd like to hear you call that one.
He's about due. Had to force you to go out on a limb on the last one.
Okay.
3-1 pitch.
See that changeup from center field right there. It's a good one to check out.
2 walks in the inning, 5 today. The Cardinals have received. 2 runners on for Paul Goldschmidt. 3 hits today, 3 for 4. Everything has been hard. Everything. Nolan Arenado on deck. Three base hits for Goldschmidt have all been 104 or above off the bat. 5th in the National League in average exit velocity. Leading the way is Pete Alonso. Runners at first and second. The 0-1 pitch.
Oof.
It's Pete Alonso, Ronald Acuna, Jesse Winker of Cincinnati, Machado of the Padres, and then the Cardinals' Paul Goldschmidt. Top 5 in average exit velocity. Two runners on, 1 out, nothing in 2 the count. Wild pitch. No throw. This is uncharacteristic of Givens. Coming into play today, he had walked 1 this year. Now he's got 2 walks and a wild pitch.
Yeah, I was thinking that he was a little erratic at times, but not like this. This is yanks this one way over there in the other batter's box. That reminds me a little bit of Fernando Rodney.
A little bit.
A little slow play. A little last minute velocity. Good changeup.
Infield drawn in. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Spoiled by Goldschmidt. Protecting there with 2 strikes. Also, he has such a great ability of just to poke it to the right side with his strength.
Guy wearing a Goldschmidt jersey caught that foul ball.
All right.
Thank you very much.
One earlier was Nolan Arenado jersey. He got it off the bat of Nolan.
Hope there's another fan out there in left center field wearing a Goldschmidt jersey.
Are you calling this one?
Hit it to him.
If you want to call it, go ahead again.
Calling a sac fly. That's all we need.
1-2 pitch.
So that velocity all of a sudden get up there in the mid-90s. Pitching at 90, 92, 93, and then all of a sudden you need a strikeout. You see some 96.
From 0-2 to 2-2. 1 out, 2 runners on. Full count, Arenado on deck. Big pitch right here. Three-two pitch. Spoiled again.
That's amazing. You see where that pitch is at? That pitch is a foot off the plate.
Well, if you're Bud Black and if you can get Goldschmidt here, first base open, probably walk Arenado and then go to DeYoung.
Even though DeYoung has 2 hits today.
But he knows that guy on deck pretty well. Have to get this guy though first. That's Paul Goldschmidt. Crowd comes alive. 1 out. 2 on. The infield drawn in. The 3-2 pitch. Got him. The fastball by Givens. See the catcher looking into Bud Black and what's he want to do here with Arenado coming up. Well, he's walked 2 in the inning. He's had a wild pitch, so you run the risk of the bases loaded with him being a little wild.
Well, I believe that's why this conversation is happening right now. He's got to find out, how do you feel? All of a sudden, are you getting your control back? You feel better all of a sudden after the couple of walks? Or clearly he's not going to say I don't have it, but you kind of got to get a feel for it. If you're the pitching coach or the manager, you want to know what's going on. I do. I walk out there and say, you want to walk this guy or not? Here's the situation. You want to pitch to him or do you want to pitch to him?
So intentional walk of Arenado. Bases will be loaded for Paul DeJong. And DeJong has had a good day. 2 walks, seeing the ball well. He's driven in 2, single and a double. Inning started with a walk to Thomas, walk to Carlson, intentional walk to Arenado. And they're all loaded up for Paul DeJong. All kinds of room in left center. Huge gap.
No, I think they're playing it right, to be honest with you, but unless he's going to throw him a changeup middle in, I've got the left fielder going over there in that gap too. Basically
Ball 1.
Giving him the left field line. You have to know that Paul DeJong is pretty much middle of the field guy. Not going to get to anything down the left field line anyways. You got to cover up that little area out there by those blue and green signs if a mistake is made.
.231 career hitter with the bases loaded. Does have 2 career grand slams. All loaded up here for Paul DeJong in a 1-run game in the bottom of the 8th. The 1-0 pitch. The 1-1. 1-2. The 1-2 pitch to Paul DeJong with the bases loaded. And time call. The 1-2. Givens can't believe it. 2-2.
Well, I hope he doesn't throw that pitch again because he might not get it either. That was a pretty long walk.
It's off the plate.
That'd be a ball.
The 2-2 pitch popped up. Givens calling for it and has it. It stays a 1-run game. Ninth inning rolls in when we come back. 9-8 in favor of St. Louis. Alex Reyes came in the 8th inning, walked a man that came around to score, got the final 2 outs in that 8th. But the Rockies have made this interesting. 1-run game. Connor Joe will lead it off, then Nunez given spot. And a long afternoon here at the ballpark and a chilly day here in St. Louis. Cardinals trying to go to 6 games above 500 and improve to 20-14. And win the series, most importantly. You win series by the end of the year, that adds up. Win series, you go to postseason play.
That is the basic concept.
Yep.
Tough to look at every game, so you try to look at each series.
Good breaking pitch. A ball and a strike. The 1-1 pitch by Reyes. Drops in for strike 2.
Oh, that was something crazy. For 7 years, I never heard that one time. As soon as I got here, that's all it was about.
Winning
Win the
series. Yeah.
That one time on the West Coast.
1-2 pitch. Blew it by him, and the first strikeout of the inning. Nunez had the bases clearing double back in the 5th. Couldn't catch up. So 1 out and nobody on. Fastball fouled back by Nunez. 5 home runs this year. Matt Adams has indeed moved to the on-deck circle. He would be the pinch hitter for Givens. Big city, there he is.
Not as big as he used to be after a few years of Pilates.
Yep. The 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. That's a credit to him and the hard work. Check swing, he went. 2 strikes. The 1-2 taken high. Genesis Cabrera just kind of playing catch out there, not really throwing hard yet, getting hot out in the bullpen, but just in case.
Getting a little lukewarm.
The 2-2.
Threw a few pitches yesterday, didn't he?
Yes, sir. Hit out of play. Lights on here at the ballpark. Rain has indeed stayed away. The 2-2. Check swing. He did go. Tag applied in the outs. Back-to-back Ks. Matt Adams has a pinch hitter in his career. Big sample size.
Nice job by Yachty right here.
250 the average. 11 pinch hit home runs. 49 pinch hit runs batted in. Most among active major leaguers. He's 0 for his last 6 and the final hope for the Rockies. Curveball in the dirt.
I think everyone knew that the cat stepped on his ovation yesterday, so
probably
Yachty had to give him a little extra.
The 1-0 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. As deep as you possibly can play.
Almost. Got a couple feet left.
The 1-1 down to their final strike.
It's a good pitch right there against Matt Adams. He's a good hitter, but I don't think he can keep that ball fair. He'll keep that ball breaking down and in at his feet.
On their feet here at Busch Stadium. The 1-2 fouled back. The 1-2 again. And again, Yachty takes a shot.
That was not fun. Oh.
The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He strikes out the side in the 9th. And the Cardinals win it 9-8. Filthy pitch to end it.
Take a look at this breaking ball right here. This is a well-located breaking ball to a strong hitter, and he just can't do anything with that. Nice job right there. Pretty good game right there all the way around. A little bit maybe giving away a few too many runs, but big win. Big series win too.
Cardinals hold on. Rockies made it interesting at the end. 9-8 the final. St. Louis has their 20th win of the year. They're 20-14. 9-8. Post-game show comes your way next.